This video, troubleshooting and servicing the Source 665 2007 Ultra Wash HE dishwasher, is designed to assist the service technician with equipment and safety, theory of operation, component access, component testing, diagnosis and troubleshooting, and specific technical information to assist in servicing. Your safety and the safety of others are very important. We have provided many important safety messages in this video and on the appliance. Always read and obey all safety messages. All safety messages will tell you what the potential hazard is, tell you how to reduce the chance of injury, and tell you what can happen if the instructions are not followed. Warning: electrical shock hazard. Disconnect power before servicing. Replace all panels before operating. Failure to do so can result in death or electrical shock. Warning: electrical shock hazard. Electrically ground the dishwasher. Connect the ground wire to a green ground connector in the terminal box. Do not use an extension cord. Failure to follow these instructions can result in death, fire, or electrical shock. Do not use the dishwasher until completely installed. Do not push down on an open door. Doing so can result in serious injury or cuts. The 2007 Ultra Wash HE dishwasher incorporates solid-state all-electronic controls. Care should be exercised to protect the printed circuit board in this appliance from electrostatic discharge whenever servicing of the unit is provided. Use of a ground strap is recommended to avoid damaging sensitive electronic components. The model and serial number plate can be found on the front left-hand side of the inner tub. Section 1. Theory of operation. Your dishwasher has the latest technology in dishwasher filtration. This triple filtration system minimizes sound and optimizes water and energy consumption while providing superior cleaning performance. Throughout the life of your dishwasher, the filter will require occasional maintenance to sustain peak cleaning. The triple filter system consists of two parts which filter 100% of the water. The majority of water is filtered through the upper filter, and the remaining water is filtered through the fine mesh filter of the lower filter cup. The upper filter assembly keeps large food soils and foreign objects out of the pump. The lower fine mesh screen filter keeps very fine food particles from being recirculated onto your dishware. A baffle stands in front of the wash motor inlet. This baffle prevents localized plugging of the fine mesh filter due to pump suction. The lower spray arm has one spray nozzle pointing down to clean the screen and direct the food soils to the filter cup. The filters may need cleaning when visible objects or soils remain on the upper filter assembly. If cleaning performance decreases, that is, soils are still present on dishes, or if dishes feel gritty to the touch. In drain, the water flows through the center of the filter cup, down and out the drain opening. During wash, water travels from the wash motor up through the diverter valve, which directs the water in an alternating manner between the following wash arm combinations. First, water is supplied to the lower wash arm and the upper spinner at the same time. Next, water is supplied to the middle wash arm and the upper spinner at the same time. This alternation continues throughout the wash cycle. If the turbo zone option is selected, the turbo zone will be included in this alternation. During the turbo zone portion, all water will be supplied to the turbo zone spray jets only. This alternation of 3 wash zones will continue for the entire cycle. When water returns to the bottom of the tub, the majority is filtered through the upper screen filter, around the outside of the filter cup, around the baffle, and back to the wash motor. Some of the water and food soils are moved into the lower filter cup. This fine mesh screen prevents food soils from re-entering the wash water. Cycle times are longer in this dishwasher due to lower water consumption and alternating wash zones. Some cycles can last up to 4 hours. The short 1-hour cycle does not include dry time, but the dry option can be selected, adding additional time to the 1 hour. Section 2. Component Access. This section will instruct the service technician how the individual components of the 2007 Ultra Wash HE dishwasher can be accessed and serviced. Warning: electrical shock hazard. Disconnect power before servicing. Replace all parts and panels before operating. Failure to do so can result in death or electrical shock. Disconnect the power to the dishwasher at the circuit breaker box before removing any panels. Before proceeding with disassembly, turn off the water supply. Components located inside the dishwasher are the lower wash arm assembly, the filter cup, the filter screen, the turbo zone wash manifold, the feed tube assembly, the outlet cover, the cover sleeve, the diverter disc, the sump, and the heater element. Components located under the dishwasher are the wash motor, the diverter motor, the drain pump, the optical water indicator, and the heater connections. To remove the filter cup, open the dishwasher door and remove the racks. Push down on the filter cup and turn it 1/4 turn counterclockwise. Pull straight up and remove the filter cup from the dishwasher. To remove the filter screen, lift the front edge of the screen slightly and pull it straight out of the dishwasher. To remove the lower wash arm assembly, turn the locking ring 1/4 turn counterclockwise. Lift the spray arm assembly and remove it from the dishwasher. To remove the turbo zone wash manifold, pull the release lever counterclockwise approximately 90 degrees. Detach the turbo zone manifold from the feed tube assembly located at the rear of the dishwasher. Gently rock the tubing end out of the diverter valve. If the tubing will not release, gently pull the tab sideways that holds the tubing end in the diverter, allowing clearance of the flange on the tubing end, and rock the tubing out of the diverter valve. To remove the feed tube, rock the ends of the feed tube out of the holes in the diverter valve. Release the clips at the back and top of the dishwasher to release the feed tube assembly. Remove the feed tube assembly from the dishwasher. The sump can be removed without removing any more components from the inside of the dishwasher. To remove the outlet cover, remove 3 T20 Torx screws. Lift the outlet cover off the sump and remove it from the dishwasher. To remove the cover sleeve, remove 1 T20 Torx screw to release the cover sleeve from the sump and remove it from the dishwasher. To remove the diverter disc, lift it out of the sump. The diverter disc must be removed before you can remove the diverter motor. To remove the toe panel and access panel, remove 2 1/4 inch hex head screws at the base of the dishwasher. Pull both panels away from the dishwasher. The tech sheet for the dishwasher is attached to the back of the access panel. To remove the optical water indicator, or OWI, disconnect the wire connector to the optical water indicator by lifting the locking tab and removing the wire connector. Turn the OWI 90 degrees counterclockwise and pull it out of the sump. The OWI does not need to be removed to remove the sump. To remove the drain hose, squeeze the clamp with a pair of pliers and pull the drain hose off the drain pump outlet. To remove the drain pump, disconnect the RAST connector that secures the wire leads to the drain pump by lifting the locking tab and pulling the connector out. Press down on the locking tab that secures the drain pump to the sump. Rotate the drain pump 90 degrees counterclockwise to remove it from the sump. To remove the sump, reach up under the dishwasher and turn each of the 3 sump tabs 1/4 turn clockwise to unlock the sump from the tub. Reach under the dishwasher and push up on the sump to separate the seal of the sump from the tub bottom. If not removed earlier, lift the sump from inside the dishwasher tub and prop the front edge up so the connections to the OWI, optical water indicator, are accessible. Disconnect the wiring by lifting the locking tab and removing the wire connector. Pull the harness wires on the left side of the sump off the harness retainer. While lifting the sump further, be sure that the harness wires on the right side of the sump release from the wire retainer clip. Turn the sump over and set it down in the sump hole upside down. Remove the wires from the wire retainers on the diverter. Disconnect the wire connector to the diverter limit switch by lifting the locking tab and removing the wire connector. Disconnect the wire connector to the diverter motor by lifting the locking tab and removing the wire connector. Remove the wires from the wire retainer clips on the wash motor. Disconnect the 2 wire connectors to the wash motor by lifting the locking tabs and removing the wire connectors. The sump can now be removed from the dishwasher. When reinstalling the sump into the tub, use the alignment tab in the front of the sump and match it to the slot in the tub. To remove the diverter valve motor, remove the sump, the outlet cover, the cover sleeve, and the diverter disc. Remove the two T15 Torx screws that secure the diverter valve motor to the sump and remove the diverter valve motor. To remove the wash motor, remove the sump. Remove two hose clamps from the sump side that are connected to the wash motor by lifting up on the free end of the hose clamp with a flat blade screwdriver. Use a pair of pliers and pull the clamp end up and away from the clamp band until the clamp releases or separates. Remove the wash motor and hoses from the sump by pulling the hose ends off the sump and the hanger out of the slot on the sump. When reassembling the wash motor assembly to the sump, be sure to insert the hanger on the motor into the slot on the sump. When replacing the wash motor assembly, the service replacement motor will come with hoses and hose clamps attached on the motor side. To remove the front door panel, open the dishwasher door. Remove 3 T15 Torx screws on each side and 4 longer T15 Torx screws across the top edge. Close the dishwasher door and lean the front panel out away from the front. Lift the door panel up and away from the dishwasher. To remove the control panel, begin by removing the front door panel. Hold the control panel cover with one hand and remove the 2 remaining T15 Torx screws, one on each side. Remove the control panel from the dishwasher. Section 3. Component Testing. Warning: electrical shock hazard. Disconnect power before servicing. Replace all panels before operating. Failure to do so can result in death or electrical shock. Before performing any component testing, disconnect the power to the dishwasher at the breaker box. All resistance or continuity checks are to be made on the extended silver leads on the control board. Use a volt-ohm meter or a digital voltmeter having a sensitivity of 20,000 ohms per volt DC or greater. Control failure can be the result of corrosion on connectors. Before testing any components, first disconnect and reconnect wires to check for corrosion, broken or loose wires or failed terminals, improperly connected wires, or wires not pressed into connections far enough. If the clean light blinks 9 times, pauses 2 seconds, and blinks once, this indicates an obstructed drain hose or path. Disconnect power to the dishwasher. Check for blockages from the sump to the customer's plumbing. If no obstructions are found, test the drain motor at the 2 connections labeled drain on the control board. The ohm meter should read 16.3 ohms. If an open value or infinite resistance is read, replace the drain motor. Repeat this procedure for any other faults. Refer to the tech sheet for a list of all component and problem codes, test points, and meter readings. Section 4. Diagnosis and Troubleshooting. To invoke the diagnostic cycle with error codes, perform the following key presses in less than 6 seconds while in standby. Heated dry, normal, heated dry, normal, heated dry, normal. The first test is a display test and all LEDs are turned on. Next, if there are no errors, the clean light will stay on solid for 5 seconds. If an error exists, the clean light will first blink the component code, then pause for 2 seconds, then blink the problem code, then pause for 5 seconds. The error code will repeat 3 times unless the start key is pressed to advance to the next error code. The control panel will remember the last 4 errors. After advancing past the 4th error, there will be a 10-second pause, then the high temp LED will light. To clear all errors, press the high temp key. The high temp LED will blink twice to indicate the errors have been cleared. Section 5. Wiring Diagram. Refer to the tech sheet for a complete wiring diagram of the dishwasher. Variations between models make it important to refer to the tech sheet supplied with the specific dishwasher you are servicing. Section 6. Tech Tips. There is a non-resettable fuse in the control panel. If the fuse is blown, you will need to check for failure of the diverter motor. If the diverter motor checks OK, then wash motor replacement is needed. A resistor is located at the front of the unit behind the toe kick and service panels. The purpose of the resistor is to reduce current surges that could tack weld the pilot relay contacts together. The pilot relay is what supplies the dishwasher with power. If that were to become stuck in a closed position, the unit would be powered on at all times. The resistor is there to reduce the chance of this failure from occurring. If the resistor goes bad, replace the wiring harness, which includes a new resistor. Be sure to also check the wash motor for proper operation. The sump could be replaced by itself if the seal is damaged or the sump is cracked. If the sump is replaced, the hoses must be replaced at the same time. This concludes the video, troubleshooting and servicing the Source 665 2007 Ultra Wash HE Dishwasher.